day 104 of 365 days of meditation. Today's practice I completed after work, so I didn't keep the morning meditation streak alive, but it's okay. I did it immediately after work. It was around 5 p.m. Um, but interestingly enough, even though it wasn't that late in the day, I found myself struggling to stay awake in the chair. Kept kind of nodding off. And in case anyone's wondering why I meditate in a chair instead of cross-legged seated on a ground or a cushion, I just have a groin, hip, oblique, abdominal injury. Sports hernia is the general term. Um, and so sitting cross-legged right now is just, not on the table. It just creates a lot of discomfort. So I sit in the chair to meditate. And I kept nodding off this morning or this afternoon, evening, and falling forward in the chair over and over again. Lucky I didn't fall out of the chair at one point. So the head kind of just nods off, and then I wake up. And so that was the meditation. The interesting thing about the practice was for about the first 20 minutes, 15 minutes anyway, there was somebody outside of my apartment building that was a kid, probably, I don't know, I'm going to guess in the 6 to 7 year old range by the pitch, maybe 5. And they were screaming at the top of their lungs intermittently. It sounded like play, but I kind of noticed it, and I just reminded myself to not focus on this scream, which when you're trying to meditate is not necessarily the most pleasant thing that you can be experiencing. But to just try to notice it and let it go, and notice it and let it go. And I'm not going to lie, at one point I had the thought, like, why would a parent just like let a child scream at the top of their lungs in public repeatedly? Like, is this not something you can train a child not to do? I had that thought. I don't know the answer to that question. But I immediately kind of switched gears and thought to myself, well, they're just a kid. They don't know any better, I guess. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it. And they're having fun by the sounds of it. So that's not the worst thing that could be happening. So that was it. And then I kind of just sort of let it go and went back to noticing it once in a while when it, kind of interjected into the silence of my meditation. And just kind of noticed it and let it go. I noticed it and let it go, and then eventually it didn't come back. I guess the child moved on, but I think it was a good little practice and a good test to see where I'm at in terms of not, emotionally reacting to things in my environment, because that's something I have no control over. So getting worked up over it makes absolutely no sense. It's that saying, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Not that I wanted the kid to die. But, when it's like when somebody cuts you off in traffic and you get upset about it, or, you're stressed out about somebody, about anything, and you're ruminating on what's going on or obsessing about it, and you're angry or upset. Meanwhile, the person that, you interacted with, that you reacted to, and that led to you being in this unpleasant state, just goes about their day totally oblivious to the fact that, you're so miffed about your interaction with them. And so, that's one of the things I do notice with meditation, is it really puts the pause in between what's going on around me, and I'm able to sort of notice it and not react in an emotional way. I'm able to sort of, and if I do find myself, maybe leaning a little bit towards the negative, like the example I gave with the screaming child, and kind of wondering where the parents were at in that moment, not incredibly satisfied with the whole situation, I am able to sort of course correct pretty quick. So that's really a great benefit of meditation in day-to-day life. I just sort of remain a little bit more well balanced, a little bit more chilled out which I find allows me to just focus on my day-to-day tasks instead of wasting mental energy on things that are don't matter, because really stressing about something that's already occurred is just stressing about something that's no longer occurring. It's not happening right now. You're just stuck in the past. And that, that takes us away from the present moment, which means that we can't be focused on or executing the tasks that we are doing as well as we would if our entire attention was on them in the present. So yeah, that was it. Nothing else to report. Feeling great. Hope that just continues on each and every day. Finding myself quite productive with things. Able to take on more and more each day. Adopting better sleep habits. And it's funny, all the other things that are good that I'm doing just seem to sort of fall into place when I'm meditating. I don't have to strive for them too much. I just do them, which is interesting. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. In closing, as usual, if you are struggling with your mental health, it's the reason I'm doing this 365-day journey, seeing how it impacts my mental health, and so far so great, I would say. But yeah, if you're struggling with your mental health, if you're ruminating, excessively worrying, obsessing, catastrophizing, if you're feeling anxious or depressed, if you are just sort of overwhelmed or feeling unable to make sense of or cope with your negative mental and or emotional state, talk to somebody. Get it out in the open. Don't suffer in silence. There's nothing worse than being isolated when you're struggling with your mental health, or your physical health for that matter. We're human beings, we're social creatures, and yeah, if you're struggling with your mental health, it can just be super helpful to get it off your chest, just to vent, even just to tell somebody what's going on. They may or may not be able to help you directly. They might be able to connect you with somebody else that's had similar experiences, or they might be able to connect you with somebody else who could help you. They might make a suggestion. They might have experienced what you're going through before themselves in some degree or another, to some degree or another. You never know what's going to come of it. And most importantly, if you're struggling with your mental health and you're not talking to anybody, and you continue to struggle with your mental health, it means that if you keep doing the same thing, you're just going to keep getting the same results. So by talking to somebody, you're breaking the habit, that process of just walling yourself off from the world, and who knows, maybe you get a different outcome as a result. I know from my own personal experience, I definitely did get a different outcome when I started talking about what I was experiencing with my mental health, and it really changed my life in a profoundly great way. So I would encourage you to do the same. That's it. Thanks for watching, and have yourself a great day.